longest minute. Okay, at 7 o'clock, let's call the Isabella County Board of Commissioners regular board meeting, electronic meeting, February 16th, 2021 at 7 p.m. to order, please. I'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Deputy Clerk Young, a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Present, reporting from my home in Nottawa Township, Isabella County.
Commissioner Engler,
Here, and I am participating from my home in Deerfield Township, Isabella County, Michigan.
Commissioner Delazinski,
Present, participating from my home in Chippewa Township, Isabella County, Michigan.
Commissioner Horton,
Present, I'm participating from my home in Union Township, Mount Pleasant, Michigan, Isabella County.
Commissioner Moreno,
Here, reporting from my home in Mount Pleasant, Michigan, Isabella County.
Commissioner Sweeney,
Present, participating remotely from my home in Mount Pleasant, Michigan, Isabella County.
Commissioner Hope,
Present and participating from my home in the city of Mount Pleasant, Isabella County.
all present, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Deputy Clerk Long. Next up, approval of the agenda. We have no presentation, or we have general public comments. We have no presentations and special reports. Appointments to boards and commissions. We have one item under consent agenda. We do have a motion. Committee reports, Finance and Administration Committee.
Finance and Administration is all set, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Next up, Financial and, oops, sorry, reading the wrong one. Criminal Justice and County Affairs Committee.
Criminal Justice and County Affairs Committee is all set, Mr. Chairman.
All right, we have no business under the Human Resources and Public Works Committee. But Mr. Moreno, Commissioner Moreno, you have anything to add, or are you all set?
No, we're all set, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Next, Intergovernmental Affairs, Commissioner Hope.
Not tonight, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Under Administrative Controller, we have nothing, no unfinished business, no new business, general public comments, announcements, and then to our adjournment. So can I get a motion for an approval of the agenda, please?
So moved, Jelazinski.
Support, Hutchinson.
We have a motion and support for the approval of the agenda. Any more discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. We have an agenda. Next up, general public comments. Nicole, do we have anybody for general public comment?
There is no one for general public comment at this time, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, we'll wait a couple seconds here and then we'll get going. All right, I'm going to close the general public comment section. Presentations and special reports, we have none. Appointments to boards and commissioners. Commissioner Sweeney, would you read that for me, please?
Yes, Mr. Chair, we have one today. Move to appoint Jacqueline Curtis to serve on the Region 7 Area Agency on Aging Advisory Council for a 3-year term ending March 31st, 2024.
Support, Marino.
We have a motion and support to move to appoint Jacqueline Curtis to serve on the Region 7 Area Agency on Aging Advisory Council for a 3-year term ending March 31st, 2024. Any discussion on this?
I just have one question. Are these all 3-year terms? Margaret?
Yes. So not every term for every board and commission that we appoint is a 3-year term. That's how come we put the length of the terms in every appointment.
Okay, thank you.
Any other commissioners have any questions or discussion on this?
I'll just point out. Oh, sorry. I'll just point out that as we said earlier in the work session, Jacqueline Curtis is an incumbent returning to the position.
Very good. Anybody else? All right. Since this does not require a roll call vote, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, the same. Jacqueline Curtis has been appointed. Next up, the consent agenda, please. Commissioner Hutchinson, would you mind doing that for us?
Sure. Move to approve and place on file February 2nd, 2021 regular meeting minutes, the February 9th, 2021 Finance and Administration Committee meeting minutes, the February 9th, 2021 Criminal Justice and County Affairs Committee meeting minutes, and the February 4th, 2021 routine personnel items.
Support, Marino.
We have a motion of support to approve the consent agenda. Any discussion on this? Hearing and seeing none, Deputy Clerk Young, a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Yes.
Commissioner Moreno,
Yes.
Commissioner Sweeney,
Yes.
Commissioner Hope,
Yes.
Commissioner Engler,
Yes.
Commissioner Jelazinski,
Yes.
Commissioner Horton.
Yes.
Full number of votes cast was 7. The ayes received 7 and the nays received 0. Motion carried.
Thank you, Deputy Clerk Young. Next up, committee reports, Finance and Administration Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Up first is the January 2021 invoice list, the February 5th, 2021 invoice list, and the February 11th, 2021 adjustment list. It's moved to ratify and place on file the January 29th, 2021 invoice list in the amount of $193,310.09. The February 5th, 2021 invoice list in the amount of $1,695,901.84, and the adjustment list dated February 11th, 2021.
Support.
We have a motion and support to approve the January 29th, 2021 invoice list, the February 5th, 2021 invoice list, and the February 11th, 2021 adjustment list. Discussion.
Okay, so these were pretty basic, usual and customary stuff that we always see. The Verizon wireless phone bill, the payment to Clark Construction made from the administration fund, which will come back to us once we fund that jail project. Some drain repairs done, and public defender appointments, and 1 bond discharge on that particular one. The February 5th list was dollar-wise quite a bit larger, but as Commissioner Jelazinski pointed out in the work session, money coming in and going right back out through tax disbursements through to some of the intermediate schools and a couple of the community colleges. We have the state of Michigan January district probate court transmittals, the McBride Quality Care, and we also have Wade Promotions and Lamar Companies. They did some ICTIC bus wrap advertising for Veterans Affairs and some billboard advertising. That money came from a CVSF grant. We also had the HATS payment, Chase Morgan Bank payment, State of Michigan January Circuit Court transmittals. Also, I see the WellPath LLC contract there, the monthly payment, which we just approved that contract last meeting. On to the adjustment list is mostly the Gordon Food Service early payments that we usually see because we get a discount for those, and then a few journal entry errors that were found and corrected. So.
Okay, do we have any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, please. Deputy Clerk Young, a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Jelazinski,
Yes.
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Yes.
Commissioner Moreno,
Yes.
Commissioner Sweeney,
Yes.
Commissioner Hope,
Yes.
Commissioner Engler,
Yes.
Commissioner Horton.
Yes.
Full number of votes cast was 7. The ayes received 7 and the nays received 0. Motion carried.
Thank you, Deputy Clerk Young.
The second item is financial institutions as designated depositories. Motion reads, move to approve the following financial institutions as designated depositories per the recommendation of the county treasurer. Choice One Bank, CIBC Bank, Citizens Bank, Fifth Third Bank, Flagstar Bank, Horizon Bank, Independent Bank, Isabella Bank, Isabella Community Credit Union, JP Morgan Chase, Lion Capital Advisor, MBIA Michigan Class, Mercantile Bank of Michigan, Multi-Bank Securities, North Star Bank, PNC Bank, SunTrust Robinson Humphrey, TCF Bank, and Wells Fargo.
Support.
We have a motion and support to approve the financial institutions as designated depositories. Discussion.
We get a list from the treasurer's office every year, and we're authorizing the county's funds to be deposited into these bank or institutions. And it's done for the purpose of giving some financial security to the county's funds. So in case there's a loss, there's some protection. And the treasurer does go through and make sure that the banks do meet the standards required of those depositories.
Okay, yeah, any further discussion among the commissioners? Hearing and seeing none, Deputy Clerk Young, a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Moreno,
Yes.
Commissioner Sweeney,
Yes.
Commissioner Holt,
Yes.
Commissioner Engler,
Yes.
Commissioner Jalazinski,
Yes.
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Yes.
Commissioner Horton.
Yes.
Full number of votes cast was 7. The ayes received 7 and the nays received 0. Motion carried.
Thank you, Deputy Clerk Young.
Okay, item number 3 is fiscal year 2021 quarter financial management services report. And the motion reads, move to accept and place on file the fiscal year 2021 first quarter financial management services report as presented.
Support.
We have a motion and support to approve the fiscal year 2021 first quarter financial management services report. Discussion.
Okay, so we have, the county is contracted for financial management services. I believe as long as I've been on the board, 6 years at least. Contracted with Manor Custarian. Steve Karanovich has kind of been the face of that. He's the one that we work with usually, and he's done an excellent job. He walked us through the report, which we get every quarter, a report of exactly what they're doing. Steve walked us through that pretty well in the work session. Some of the things he does, there's 10 bullet points. I won't go over all of them, but some of the stuff is usual and customary stuff. They continue to evaluate the county's overall business structure and related functions like payroll, accounts payable, central ledger, et cetera. The secondary analysis of all journal entries. And then there's some things that are maybe not as customary, but maybe seasonal. Reporting to the state of Michigan for the county incentive program so that we can get our state revenue from the state, which amounts to about 1.33 million. So that's kind of important. Assisting the administrator controller's office to prepare for the audit. They made sure that we comply with the new government accounting standard that affects trust and agency funds. And also they've prepared the quarterly revenue expenditure budget versus actual report, which is a newer report over the last few years that we get. And that'll be our next agenda item.
Okay. Any further discussion among the commissioners? Hearing and seeing none, Deputy Clerk Young, a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Swaney,
Yes.
Commissioner Hope,
Yes.
Commissioner Engler,
Yes.
Commissioner Jelazinski,
Yes.
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Yes.
Commissioner Marino,
Yes.
Commissioner Horton.
Yes.
Full number of votes cast was 7. The ayes received 7 and the nays received 0. Motion carried.
Thank you, Deputy Clerk Young.
Our next item is the fiscal year 2021 first quarter financial report. Motion reads, move to accept and place on file the fiscal year 2021 first quarter financial report as presented.
Support, Hope.
We have a motion and support to accept and place on file the fiscal year 2021 first quarter financial report. Discussion, please.
Margaret did a very thorough job going through the revenues and expenditures. You would think that first quarter would be at 25% revenues and expenditures. It doesn't work out that way. I know when our revenues didn't, I didn't have a millage for one thing, but our revenues didn't come in until summer. So there was always these quirks by various departments when their revenues come in and when they have their busiest seasons for expenditures to go out. The one item that under administration, it shows a 88.89% expenditure at this point. And that was explained that that's related to the fact that we've been paying the architectural and engineering bills for the county jail project. And eventually that will be, we'll probably make a budget adjustment to correct that. I don't think that, I think everybody else is pretty much on. There was a cooperative extension service was at 48.76. At committee, we found out that includes the second quarter payment for Michigan State University extension. So we're just a little bit ahead on that. Are there questions?
All right, hearing and seeing no further questions from the commissioners. Hearing and seeing none.
I do have just one comment.
Jerry. Yes.
Just one comment. And I'm just wondering if, since we are paying the bills for the jail project out of administration, I'm wondering because of the dollar amounts, if that should be a separate line item so we can have that information more directly, rather than having it buried in administration.
Oh, it's not buried. We can get you any detail on that anytime you would like that, Commissioner. And it's also, you know, as the bills are coming through, they're primarily at this point, the integrated architecture and the Clark bills. And then also remember that once we secure the funding, then all of those funds will be returned. So, you know, I can supply any, actually any detail that any commissioners would like on that at any given time.
Okay, I do know that they do show up in our invoice list. I thought it'd be easier to see what our total dollar amount was, just for information on the front end without having to ask for the specifics.
Oh, you don't have to ask for it. If you would like that on a regular basis, I'm happy to provide that to you. I could provide it to you monthly or at every finance committee, whatever the finance committee would like to see to kind of bubble up to the board, we're happy to do.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Any further discussion? All right, hearing and seeing none. Hearing and seeing none. All right. Deputy Clerk Young, a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Hope,
Yes.
Commissioner Engler,
Yes.
Commissioner Jelazinski,
Yes.
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Yes.
Commissioner Marino,
Yes.
Commissioner Swaney,
Yes.
Commissioner Horton.
Yes.
Whole number of votes cast was 7. The ayes received 7 and the nays received 0. Motion carried.
Thank you, Deputy Clerk Young. Okay, is that it for the Finance Administration?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, that concludes the work of
All right.
the Administration Committee.
Very good. Thank you, gentlemen. Next
Thank
up,
you.
Criminal Justice and County Affairs Committee.
We have One item, Mr. Chair. The first item is MDARD grant agreement. Motion reads, move to approve the grant agreement between the Michigan Department of Agriculture and Rural Development and Isabella County Animal Control in the amount of $7,550 for enhanced spay and neuter operations, and authorize the board chairperson to sign the same.
Support Engler.
We have a motion and support to approve the MDARD grant agreement, which stands for Michigan Department of Agricultural and Rural Development. Discussion.
As we discussed in the work session, our administration staff had applied for this grant for hats. As you know, we're under contract. We have a contract with hats for them to run the animal shelter. And part of that contract, they have to pay for the spaying and neutering of animals. And this gives them a little bit of relief with the grant from the Agricultural and Rural Development. And that gives them the ability to do 111 animals.
Okay. Any further discussion among the commissioners? I just have one thing to add. I know the Isabella County Animal Control Shelter, I remember back in the day, that does a lot of good for our community. One of the kind of unknown things is a lot of kids can get, at that time, probably before COVID, hopefully after COVID, maybe now even during, is to get volunteer hours. My kids got a lot of volunteer hours walking animals up and down the little pathway by the airport. You can see in the spring and summer and fall, you can see like a little pathway, kids walking. And I know all three of my kids got to, and it was a lot of fun. You could see kids walking animals. And so it's that's just a little side thing to the community. And I encourage, if people need volunteer hours to, for whatever in school, to contact them, because I'm sure they're looking for help. So anything we can do. So, all right. Seeing and hearing no further discussion. Deputy Clerk Young, a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Engler,
Yes.
Commissioner Jelazinski,
Yes.
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Yes.
Commissioner Moreno,
Yes.
Commissioner Sweeney,
Yes.
Commissioner Holt,
Yes.
Commissioner Horton.
Yes.
Whole number of votes cast was 7. The ayes received 7 and the nays received 0. Motion carried.
Mr. Chairman, that completes the work of the Criminal Justice and County Affairs Committee.
Thank you, gentlemen. Next up is the Human Resources and the Public Works Committee, which we have no business under. Under Intergovernmental Affairs, we have no business. Administrator Controller Report, we have nothing. So it moves us to unfinished business where there is no items. New business, no items. Nicole, we're on item number 11, general public comments.
There is no one for general public comment at this time, Mr. Chairman.
I guess it's just too cold.
Exactly. Or they're having to sit there, when you're trying to read it, numerical numbers or Roman numerals like this, I'm going, is that an 11 or is that a 6? I mean, it's kind of, especially late in the day, I got to be real careful. So anyway, all right, we're going to close public comment, move to item number 12, announcements. Commissioners, any announcements?
Just want to make an announcement dealing with the COVID-19 vaccinations. There was an article in yesterday's, I don't know if it was yesterday's or today's paper. I think it was yesterday's, about the resistance of some people to take the COVID-19 and the impacts of that. Well, a couple of days before that, I did get a newsletter from Mid-State Health Network, which I did pass on to the commissioners between the work session and the meeting. But it basically talks about, they define a term, an uptick. And that's the difference between the people that are taking the vaccination versus the ones that are refusing to take the vaccination. And anecdotal information right now suggests that there's about 40% of this uptick. Mid-State Health Network says, and health experts are saying, you need to have 70% or greater to be able to reach what's known as herd immunity or eradication of the virus. So there's a lot of people, for whatever reason, are refusing to take it. And it's going to have its impact on society and our economy as we continue to go forward. So if you could take this information that I sent you, you'll see there are some documents down. Now, they're not exact addresses, but if you put that in the search engine, I did check, all those documents will come up, they'll answer people's questions. And hopefully if there's a fear or some misunderstanding, that can get solved. And I've tried to get that out to my townships as I make the rounds and, other meetings too. So if you could do the same, I think we need to really stress the vaccinations. Once you have a chance to get in, you should do it. And I will say that my wife and I both have had both doses now of the Pfizer, and both of them are really, really mild. The second one was a little bit more because we had felt a little bit tired the next day, but there's nothing wrong with sitting in a recliner with just to recover.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Jelazinski. Any other commissioners?
Yeah, I sat into a Zoom meeting with the Isabella Township and listened to their organizational meeting and what they have coming up this year. But I'm waiting for my vaccine and can't wait to get it. I think it's important. Everybody.
Absolutely. Any other commissioners? Yeah, I echo that as far as the COVID-19 vaccinations go. I mean, it's I'm a little bit surprised, but truly I'm not surprised to see some of the people hesitating to get it for whatever reason. I think that's just part of our society today. I think what's really going to change things is twofold. One is going to be possibly if they ever come up with a one-shot deal. I know they have some, but they're not quite as effective as some research. But I think more the telling point is, and I think you're really going to start to see a rush on vaccines if they can get the supply equaling the demand, is if you don't have it, what's your quality of life going to be? Are you going to be able to go out to a restaurant? Are you going to be able to go to a concert? Are you going to be able to go to a movie theater? Are you going to be able to board an airplane, or take a train, take a bus without having proof that you've been vaccinated? I can see that coming. I'm not surprised if that doesn't come sooner rather than later. I tell everyone if government, and again, I'm not putting out right or wrong or making any public comment on anything, but if the government through health issues can close down businesses and close down a lot of stuff, they can certainly open it up with restrictions like they're doing now and certainly make that a restriction. So that's where I see it going. I think there are already readers. If you go work out at Planet Fitness or you go someplace like that now, you got to show your ID card or scan a card. I think it's going to be very similar to that. There's already technology being developed by some of the big software companies to do that. So I think that's where you're really going to see a push to get up to that percentage. You're basically going to have to, I don't want to say force people to do it, but if they want to get back to some type of semblance of life, what it used to be, I think that's what it's going to take. So again, sorry to take a soapbox on that. I do apologize to my commissioners, but again, closing every meeting, I try to, no matter if you're getting the vaccines and the immunizations at all, that's great. But remember, wear your facial covering, wash your hands, and keep social distancing. That'll also help everyone as we get through this. And hopefully we're seeing a light coming up, and it's just a matter of time. And hopefully one day I get to see all my fellow commissioners. I think Commissioner Moreno, I think you and I are going to be tomorrow at the health department. I don't know if I'll see you there. I'm getting there at 3:30, so I don't know what time you're going to be.
I can't go there till Thursday, so I won't see you this time.
Okay. All right. Okay, everyone. I think that's it. Can I get a motion to adjourn, please?
So moved, Jelazinski.
Support, Hutchinson.
We have a motion and support to adjourn the meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. I don't think there will be any. The meeting is ended 7:28. Thank you, gentlemen.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Excellent job, Brenda.
Stay safe. Thanks, Brenda.